Is C for corporate takeover? HBO has announced that they'll be paying for the production costs for the next 5 years of Sesame Street. Wow. In return, the cable channel will get a 9-month exclusivity window to airing the new episodes. After that, PBS can show them for free as usual. But that's a big window, that's a lot of money, and that's a long time. Guys, let me ask. Here, wait, I'm going to let my friend ask. Is this transgression of everything public TV stands for? What do you guys think of this deal? Do the benefits outweigh the negatives? So, what do you guys think? I'll ask again because you were probably distracted. So, benefits, do they outweigh the negatives here? Is this icky? What do you think of this deal? Dan, start us off.
Number one, you get a +1 for using a sock puppet. I thought
Thank
that was
you,
great.
Dan.
You're welcome, Saki. Yeah, I think this is just the wave of the future. I think we're going to see more and more of this happening. Like, it would not surprise me if they came out and did like a reboot of Captain Kangaroo or a reboot of Mr. Rogers. I really think we're going to see more of this happening. Does it make me nervous? It makes me a little nervous because I would just hate for them to show the Sesame Street reboot like right before Showtime After Dark.
Well, it's not a reboot. They're just paying for new episodes. So essentially, HBO is taking over the production costs from the children's
then I
television.
misunderstood the whole darn thing. I thought Tom Cruise was going to play the Count or something. I thought it was a complete reboot.
Yeah, so HBO is going to foot the bill for everything, but that means that they're going to be able to have longer seasons. I think they're going to be able to double the number of episodes.
More shows.
But it's a 9-month exclusivity. So unless you pay for HBO or HBO Go or HBO Now, you're not going to see those new episodes. But is that such a big deal? Lewis, what's your take?
Yeah, I hate the fact that the man now owns Sesame Street. You know what I mean? That's horrible. I mean, you grew up watching it for free on PBS. It wasn't, you didn't have to pay a subscription to be able to watch Sesame Street.
Well, you can still watch it for free. You just have to wait 9 months.
Right, you just have to wait 9 months. However, Sesame Street, from a lot of the reports that I read, Sesame Street was hurting. Today's kids were not watching Sesame Street, and that's one of the reasons why they said, that because they're watching everything online. Whatever they're watching, it's not Sesame.
Well, I mean, over the last several years, the Children's Television Workshop, who produces Sesame Street, has had to cut back on the number of episodes. I mean, they're down to, I think, 13 from 20 or so, whatever they used to do when we were kids.
Right.
So, yeah, HBO has come in and given them all this money to produce.
To a certain extent. And to a certain extent, it's also, on HBO's part, it's a brilliant move. It's brilliant because, all right, HBO gets Sesame Street. I mean, that's a huge exclusive.
Yeah.
They not only they get Sesame Street, but I believe they also get previous seasons, and that prevents Netflix, Amazon, and anyone else from getting Sesame Street.
Didn't think about that.
Particularly for Netflix, because I think Netflix has its own dashboard for kids, so they're really trying to promote Netflix as being kid-friendly. And, they could be kid-friendly, but what's the biggest kid show there is? Sesame Street, And even if today's kids aren't watching Sesame Street, today's parents in their 20s, 30s, 40s, they grew up on Sesame Street, and they're going to make sure that their kids watch it, regardless of whether they like it or not,
Well, especially because there was that report that says that kids that start watching Sesame Street at an early age develop better language skills, better learning skills, better all this stuff. So Sesame Street got a huge boost in the arm from that. So, you're going to want your kids to watch Sesame Street, but the icky part about it is this setting up kind of us versus them scenario where it's like, well, the more affluent people who can afford to pay for HBO, their kid gets to see this stuff before yours does, but it's not like Sesame Street is a narrative where you need to watch it in order. Like, each show gives the kids that benefit, right? So I don't know, just something about it feels wrong, even though.
Do you think maybe it's a ploy on HBO's part to start indoctrinating kids early to,
of course,
identify like Sesame Street equals HBO, HBO equals Sesame Street? So by the time they're done, they've already got it in their minds. Hey, I need to have HBO when I get out of my own, or I'm in college, or I have a family.
You think HBO right now? You think what? True Detective. what's the other one? Silicon Valley, whatever other
Yeah.
shows that they have. You don't think kids programming. But now, and now, if you're a family and if you were curious about HBO Now, you're like, there's only 2 shows that I watch on HBO Now. I don't think it's worth $15 a month. Now, if your kids are there, like, oh, but my kids will get something out of it too. They'll be able to watch Sesame Street.
Right.
Sure, why don't I pay for the subscription? Why not?
Right.
You know?
And then added bonus, you get them hooked early, and then they're gonna. But I don't know, how many things did you watch when you were a kid? Did you grow up thinking like, well, I have to keep subscribing to that because that's what I watched as a kid?
Oh, yeah, we never had that.
Although
I have that, yeah.
Cable, right? I mean,
MTV back when it was,
When they actually had
videos.
music.
Yeah, when they had.
or even just TV. Like you grew up with a TV in your house. When you left and went out on your own, did you ever think, well, I don't need a TV now? So I think that's what they're maybe playing on. Is like you grew up with HBO. When you go out, what are you not going to have HBO? That's crazy.
Right. You might grow up without cable, but oh man, HBO. No, I gotta have HBO. It's only $15. Sure,
Right. I mean, I also liken this to the premium tier of a podcast where it's like you can choose to subscribe and donate a little bit to this company that creates a show you like so that they can continue making things and you get early access to it. But then after a week, a month, or whatever, everyone gets it for free after that,
Right.
So it's not so weird. There's a precedent for it, but I don't know. Something makes it feel icky, and maybe it's just because it's HBO, home of Game of Thrones, and Sesame Street, home of Ernie and Bert. I don't know. It feels weird.
It does feel like a certain innocence that is being destroyed.
Right.
Yeah.
In this, you know what I mean? It's like I just get the feeling I'm going to see Elmo wearing an HBO T-shirt. That kind of weird stuff like that. It's just I don't know.
Check out True Detective Sunday nights at 8.
A little splash ad's gonna come up while you're watching Sesame Street. Like Game of Thrones, a big dragon will come up at the bottom of the screen.
Right. Exactly.
Well, that's our 2 cents. What's yours? Is it okay that HBO is supporting the production of Sesame Street? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. This show was brought to you by the letter D, as in Deal News. For DealNews.com, along with Dan Ledbetter and Luis Ramirez, I'm Jeff Summergy. Goodbye.